Hello everybody, we are back again. Back another live stream. I hope you're all doing well. And well, I have good news. We have released SubBoomBass-2 with a new update. It has okay, 1 second here. I get an error message. Okay, let's stop this. Yeah, some fun parts in the computer. Yeah, that's always can happen. But we are back again. Let's see if I'm streaming. Streaming settings are right, and I should be streaming. Okay, so we have a new update, and it's already available. You already can download that one. And we had, of course, the 10th of February, we had the subject about PsyTrance. And I made a whole bank with all kind of these type of bases. So if you would go to the bank manager, there's also a little change here. You see this is all a little bit closer to each other so that you see more banks. So there's less space between the naming of the bank folder, so everything is visible. And here you can see base PsyTrance. And you see there's these variations I created with velocity and without velocity. So if you would like to use the sidechain in a regular traditional way, you can use the without velocity, and the other ones are for with velocity. So here, because I think the bass by what very often here in PsyTrance also sounds very similar to the lately bass, and maybe it's the lately bass what some use in their tracks. So I have a bass here called Bass Psy Lately 1. And here was the velocity. And we had, of course, a discussion with the velocity. And here you can see again in Cubase. I'm using Cubase. So this is the track. And here you see the notes. And down here you see the velocity. So in the down section you see that on the first count I put down the velocity of the notes. You see, can make it louder and softer, because essentially that's what you do with sidechaining. If you put a sidechain on this track, this audio track, and the kick is playing, it drops down the volume of this audio channel, which is then the bass. But we use synthesizers. And why not use for this feature simply your synthesizer? And okay, and I open it here, and you see velocity is fully on the volume. So I don't use it on the filter, but only on the volume. So the amp section, you can see velocity on the volume, and then you get the same effects or side effects. And that's the cool thing, because you are in control with a synthesizer, and why not do it by using the controls of your synthesizer? So in the manager, in the new version, you see a lot of presets, but it's 76, but of course you can put that in half, because one is with velocity, another without. So I made some very nice variations. Let me see, and I have also one with modulation wheel, which is very cool if you use a modulation wheel. Let me see where it is again. Here it is, Psy modulation wheel. And in this preset, I use in the modulation matrix, modulation wheel to control the filter 2 cutoff frequency, which is a high pass filter. And let's go to another one. It's number 2, and this is one with velocity. And this one is special. This one uses also velocity, but this one, you see, that's cool with SubBoomBass-2. You have here the FX. It has 2 FX on board, but you can use down here a 2-slot modulation matrix, which means that you connect the modulation wheel, for instance, to the FX one mix. And the FX mix, you can see it's closed. So if I don't open the modulation wheel, the bass is without this analog phaser. And additionally, I make it also the case that the modulation wheel controls the filter 2 frequency. Okay. So the frequency kicks in on the filter, and the phaser kicks in. So these are these typical things you also can do. Okay, let me see if I have more. Number 4, is that number 5? Let's see what number 5 is. That one, number 5, is using the reverb. So here's the same setup. I use the modulation wheel is connected to the high pass filter. Modulation wheel is closed, you don't hear any changes, and a modulation wheel is also controlling the FX1 mix. And you see the reverb is dry, so it's fully to the dry channel. And once I open the modulation wheel, the room kicks in. So a whole bank for PsyTrance with some additional things. Some of these sounds have a little variation. So, for instance, this one, it's pretty close to this one. It's a little detail. Well, and then of course we added some more presets. One friend of mine, who is a very well-known arranger, said, "Hey Rob, how can I do 6/8 in SubBoomBass-2? I don't find it." And well, I said it's pretty easy. You simply go to the sequencer, and instead of making it 16 steps, you make it 12 steps. And then you have, let's see if it's not playing yet. I can put the sequencer on. I make it 12 steps. Okay, then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And of course with the accent, so you get then 2, 3, 4, 5, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. That's the way you do a 6/8 on SubBoomBass-2. And that inspired me to do a few presets. And there's a new sequence preset of 4 bank. That one is also new. And there you can see I have some 6/8 grooves, which is also very funny if you use them in a normal sequence. Maybe it's tempo a little bit too high. Oh, it's nice. It triggers the sequencer. Of course, I need to have the sequencer off. So let me mute this here and play it manually. So this is using. So it's a nice combination. Got it. Yeah, it's of course not possible to have a square of 4/4 beat, but this is 6/8. So this is one. Maybe I should take another tempo. Give me 1 second. I open another tempo for you. Okay. Let's take 110 as a tempo. So now you see 12 steps, and then you get a 6/8 type of thing. Of course, you need to have the bass setting in your music program also set to the same. You got a 6/8. And there's this one. A bit more complex. And this one. Well, this is a normal one. So this is a taiko slow beat. Very low and still tuned. And okay, let me check, by the way, the chat room today, if there is the chat room. Yeah, we have YouTube here. I don't see anybody yet in the chat room. So the average top chat, all messages are visible. Yeah, we don't have the crew inside the chat room. Maybe they're doing something else. So normally I see, of course, I see many people pop up, which I see every week. But yeah, maybe they are working, doing other things. So I'm playing a few more of these presets. And of course, if you missed this live stream, you can watch it back. I made an introduction video today about this YouTube channel of this brand. And yeah, maybe you saw it. Put a nice remark below it if you like it, and say hello to this introduction video. It's also 12/8. So this one very close to the other one I had. I like this one also. This is a normal one. Dark Sun 6/8. Very analog type sequence and orchestral drums. And here I used the free row to make a little bit panning. So the sequence, you can do some very cool stuff with the sequences. So some new nice sound if you do some music for games. You can use this. Okay, you are too late. Now your points are gone. And another presets I did is the some bass presets, some new regular bass presets. And what is in SubBoomBass, if you go to the bank manager, you can do order by date, and then they are popping up in the upper part. So here, the May 2021 is one of the basses which was from May 2021, which we did in a live stream. But I found it back and I thought, yeah, why not put in this sound? It's a pretty FM type of sound. And then there are some new typical analog style of sounds. I will play a few of them. This one uses the newer zero latency bass of filter. And you still can use the XY. The XY is always double click and it goes back to the neutral state. So very dry sounds. You see no effects are used with many of them. Yeah, and then we had the Chicago bass, also a few weeks or months ago. Typically FM sound. So here the oscillator 2 is modulated by oscillator 1. You see the type of is FM. Essentially is a phase distortion. By using the free envelope, which is here, free envelope 1, you see here it's controlling the volume. Because otherwise, without it, you would have only a static modulation. And if you use then a envelope which is then only part a given time modulates the oscillator 2, then you get these typical FM type sounds. You see the decay. Very nice for punchy clicking basses. So this is called the Chicago one, and then we have a variation, dry. This was... And that's also a bug we fixed now in the modulation mix. If you add the modulation wheel to the free envelope attack, that one was not working properly. And now it works. So if you would have done a regular beat, let me see if I can go back to Cubase and take another part. Give me 1 second. Okay. Oh yeah, it's in the background. So I'm not paying attention. So I'm closing this again. I go back. Left 1. Left 8. Okay. Let's see what happens. Okay, there's another bass. Okay, well, let's take this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I go up in tempo, make it 124. Give me a second. Upper tempo. And then I could copy this bass, which is playing here essentially, to the upper part in SubBoomBass-2. Let's see how it sounds. Not good. No, that's not a very nice groove for this bass. So let's do Control Z and it's back again. So this sound, and click here, the original. You need to play a different groove as this one. Okay, and I need to mute this bass. Here you go. And then play this bass. With your modulation wheel open. Very MIDI bass, of course, very aggressive, and that's why it's called edge bass. And yeah, here see these are the new ones. I created also a Daft Punk bass, which is also a few weeks ago. So Dafty Punk I called it, not Daft Punk, but Dafty Punk. And the short one is also then shorter, of course. Oh, there I forgot the extra S. So that has a typo. Okay, I now cannot change that anymore. It's now in the new version. Yeah, that's what happens. You forget to type one S, so it's bass instead of bass. Bass. Dafty Punk short. Yeah, and we have Winston requested the bass. So it's from Winston. Winston, it was a subject, I think, about the lately bass, and this was a variation, and we called it the Winston bass. Very analog sounding. Yeah, cool. Let's see. Yeah, that's the first time I don't have any people in the chat room. Yeah, it can happen. Maybe I have a setting wrong. I don't hope so. Participants? No. Okay, now I mess up totally. Okay, but let's go back to the SubBoomBass-2. So in the if you own Explore 7, you can scroll down in the download page, scroll down far more down, and then you see SubBoomBass-2 and download the single installer, run it, and then you have the new presets of SubBoomBass-2, and we also fixed a few small bugs. And as mentioned in the bank manager, more banks are visible now because we shortened the distance. And the new presets, I put it in the info section of the download page of SubBoomBass-2, but you cannot open it if you are Explorer 7 user. But the new ones are in the sequence preset 4. These are all new with the 6/8 grooves and some other things. There are 2 new presets, and if you click order by date, you will see the Sorries 1 and 2, which we also created. Two Reese basses, 2 pieces are there. In the bass preset number 6, there are new ones. So you click order by date, and you have, and even I think the last one is the tabla with the modulation wheel going, opening the reverb, which is sometimes very cool if you have the dynamic changes. Yeah, cool, isn't it? And yeah, the TAfunk we had. Let me see if there is more. I think these are the ones which are then new until the Winston bass and the tabla. I think that's the last one, yeah. And then we have the new bass, PsyTrance bass bank, which a lot of variations, and you might be surprised why you see each time velocity behind it or without velocity. That is the way of approaching. So if you missed that, yeah, please go to the start of the video where I explain why I did it this way, and yeah, some very nice basses for PsyTrance, and maybe also for other style of music. Okay, let me see if we have people in the chat room now, or that I'm doing something terribly wrong in the menu here, because I see we have viewers, but the chat room is disappeared. Increase highlight video. Okay, yeah, that's a good one. Most likely I did something very incorrect, which means that I don't see the chat room. Uh-oh. And okay. I'm checking out if I can fix that, but that's all a little bit tricky. So, because yeah, with YouTube, it very often changes. Suddenly you don't have the same user interface. Suddenly it's totally different. Yeah, these things are happening. Anyhow, so that about SubBoomBass-2, the new presets, the little update for this very cool machine. Okay. Well, then there was a question from about RP-AMOD. How to use RP-AMOD, and let's take simply a a beat, and we use on a voice. Let's see if we have a voice. Oh yeah. She's here it comes up. Okay, feel it. Oh boy. Let me see if I have maybe something nicer which fits. Maybe could be a problem, but need to do some settings here so that I don't. Yeah, bar. I think this one is not nice. Let's see if we can use this one.
Everybody's turning to it.
It's a totally different tune. Okay, yeah, feel it.
Everybody's turning to it.
Okay, if you would use RP-AMOD on voice, that's very nice to give it
Everybody's turning to
mere
it.
body. And so here we have the voice sample. And now I open RP-AMOD. And RP-AMOD is now also a VST3. And it should appear, here it is in modulation, RP-AMOD, there it is. And as you can see, if you go to the menu, you also have different sizes, 100% size, 125%, even 200%. I use the 150%. On my screen, even the 200% would fit. So we did not have any room for these little 3 lines to control panel, but in the preset menu, you can select this. Okay, what's the case with RP-AMOD? RP-AMOD essentially is a modulation machine which produces the classical chorus, ensemble, but also flanger and phaser things. And essentially you have 2 of them. You can combine them in a parallel way, in a serial way, but also splitting them by the filter. And the good thing, of course, with our products that we always have so many presets. So if you go to the vocal bank, well, we have dread wire here, and then you could, because mostly you use this on an insert, so we don't have a AfX send. You can click here on send, you see then it goes here, but essentially we only have insert because, yeah, this is not very CPU intensive, so it's not a problem to use 20 RP-AMODs in your music host program. So vocal and nice chorus.
Everybody's turning to it.
Yeah, you see it adds body, and you see there are 2 tape choruses used in this one.
Everybody's turning to it.
Now, and the oh no, 1, sorry, audio modulate 1 only.
Everybody's turning to it.
Of course, it's now a little bit dry, but I can make it.
Everybody's turning to it.
Here's the lady, and then we take our RP-2. Okay, again.
Everybody's turning to it.
Okay, maybe a little bit less.
Everybody's turning to it.
So now I have a reverb behind it to give you more a normal producing.
Everybody's turning to it.
So if I put off now the chorus, you can hear.
Everybody's turning to it.
So now it's the voice, more director, but sometimes in some tracks it's very nice.
Everybody's turning to it.
Gives a little bit more body to it. Makes it a feather thing. So this is a nice chorus. But there are, of course, also other variations. Vocal disorder, which is using a tape flanger, and then in this case 2 of them. Oh. If you go fully wet, you will notice that this is a very strange effect. So this is a very disorder. That's why it's called disorder. It's very but even with the chorus, you can have a little bit of room.
Everybody's turning to it.
Because this one uses 2 of them, and they are a little bit different in speed settings.
Everybody's turning
It's
to
very
it.
minimal. Oh no, even the same. Oh, it's a no, this is the other one.
Everybody's
Here,
turning to
this
it.
has the speed 83 hertz, and that one has 55.
Everybody's turning to it.
And it uses parallel, so essentially you have 2 different.
Everybody's turning to it.
It's totally. So there are many new presets, or not new presets, many presets
Everybody's turning to it.
which are useful for your. And even if you put it a little bit, this one is a bit over the top.
Everybody's turning to it.
Although, yeah, just you add, you put on the reverb, and then you simply.
Everybody's turning to it.
Now, and then you put a little bit higher, and then you add, see how nice it is.
Everybody's turning to it.
Just give a little bit more body to it.
Everybody's turning to it.
So it's very nice to thicken up your vocals, or maybe backing vocals if you have backing vocals. That's very nice. Well, let's see the last one, wild stereo. Okay.
Everybody's turning to it.
That uses a tremolo. So a tremolo is also inside RP-AMOD. So panning, wild panning.
Everybody's turning to it.
And then, of course, you can put on audio 2, and then you say serial. Then it goes first to modulate 1 and then modulate 2. And you could have then in the second one, so combine, for instance, the tremolo with the chorus. Here it comes.
Everybody's turning to it.
Yeah, so having the filtering, that's a bit typical. Let's try this chorus, and then we do a 12 dB split filter thing. And this is then the split frequency.
Everybody's turning to it.
Now, that doesn't make sense if you have twice of the same FX. So you could say, let's take the tape flanger, and then let's see what happens.
Everybody's turning to it.
Now then you can split by filter. So if I go more this, then you hear more.
Everybody's turning to it.
You hear more the flanger, but so below this frequency 3.5 hertz, it's using a 12 dB filter. Below this 3.5 hertz, the chorus is working, and above it, the flanger is working. So you get very typical combinations.
Everybody's turning to it.
Yeah, see, or you have the anaphaser. So let's see what the anaphaser does. Only on the high frequencies.
Everybody's turning to it.
You got a kind of, okay, let me put off the reverb. You got a kind of,
Everybody's turning to it.
yeah, typical thing. So if I go down to the left,
Everybody's turning to it.
then essentially only the low end gets the chorus, and everything above 135 hertz
Everybody's turning to it.
is having the analog phaser. But this is a very interesting feature, this routing, where things are filtered. You can go even 12 dB filter. So, okay, and yeah, it's not only for vocals, and I really like this one on vocals because it gives some nice body to it. And you see, by the way, you see it uses the older type of presets. This has a bank. This is a bit older plugin from us. We did update it, but you see here, down here, you see here a lot of default, but that means the fact is that it has 128 presets max. It's one bank, the original bank system from VST. So VST came over, of course, from hardware, and in the hardware synthesizer, you had a bank with 128 presets. and that they called a bank. With our other products now, all our recent versions, we have single presets as in a folder, so you could even go beyond 128. But this one still uses this older system of having banks. And that's the reason why in some banks you find default a lot, because yeah, these are presets not filled. Vocal odd phase, let's put that one still on the...
Everybody's turning to it.
Okay, yeah, that's a little... Vocal over the top.
Everybody's turning to it.
Yes, using the ensemble modulation. And of course, you yourself also, if you have this preset, just play around. Change the speed of the ensemble.
Everybody's turning to it.
And really change the sound.
Everybody's turning to it.
Yeah, if you increase the feedback, you get a little bit of a roomy sound.
Everybody's turning to it.
Well, and each of the modules has even a pan modulation or a panning, left, right.
Everybody's turning to it.
That's still possible. Or a modulation. Well, that's cool.
Everybody's turning to it.
So yeah, there are not extremely much things which you can change, but due to the routing and the types of modulation, you have a very many creative options. Yeah, and of course we have then things for drums and EDT. I don't know what then. This, I think that's a Artist Bank, Me Tone 1, Heavy Liquid. I'm not recalling that one anymore. EDT. What it was is a bank maybe by an artist. I forgot, I must say. Now we have drums, and that can be interesting, because if you put it on drums, then you get some very cool things, because the things can be tempo synced. Okay, so I put down now the RP-AMOD from the voice, no FX, and do on something else. Let's see if I have here the punch. It's a little bit boring.
Everybody's turning to it.
I need to shut down this lady. Okay, where are the tambourines? Oh, I think here they are. Yeah. Now here I picked an RP-AMOD, and I will do it only on the tambourine. So I picked the in the modulation for VST3, you pick then RP-AMOD. Yeah, you hear already some. So this is on the drums. Oh, lost the timing. Of course, with the sync, it's always important that if you use an FX, which is tempo sync, is that you start at the first beat. Otherwise, it doesn't reset the LFO, which is tempo synced from the FX. So this is the so crazy flange. It's only on these. Maybe I should have a other groove. Give me 1 second, because it's getting a little bit. Oh, okay. No, not that one. Let's go to this one. Okay. Then I should open that one, take another groove. It's a bit basic, sorry for that, but it's just to show you what the rhythm things can do. And I need to drag that one there. So you can make some, of course, I need the timing. So give me 1 second. Let me play a small note here. Delete. And okay, I did record that, and then I don't have to play the notes each time on the keyboard, and then I also can start at the verse of the beat to have the tempo sync correctly with the so here you call presets for drums. So bypass. So I just take it as a little example, and now with RP-AMOD. Can do so. And of course with dry wet you can go from dry and back. So there are some cool things. And if you own one or purchase one product, this is a free product for you. So if you, for instance, maybe you're new to the brand, you purchase maybe Go-To or whatever, or Delsane, then if you register your product, then in the My Products, in the top section, you can request RP-AMOD. Once you requested it, the serial will appear inside your My Products, and then you can open the download page, run the installer, and activate it. RP-AMOD is a very nice tool, and yeah, I mean the chorus on vocals, but also on your guitar. If you play guitar, it's really a lovely chorus for your guitar or vocals or flanger, whatever. And it's a very popular product, I think, not only because it's for free for customers of ours, but I think also because it's very cool and great sounding tool. And it's now VST3. Okay, guys, the chat room is totally in mess. Maybe people are chatting, but I don't see anything. I pushed it away for some reason, hit the wrong button. So yeah, that are things which are happening. And Tom Aldrich made a great demo again, and I like to play that one. Also, I'm not sure, maybe you guys are typing in the chat room, and that's a bit stupid of mine, but that happens if you are live. And because yeah, Tom asked me for a few tips by using RP-AMOD, but he if he's not in a chat room or misses it, he can watch it also back. But Tom was so kind to send us again a demo, and let me show you. If you go to our home page, I like to play another one he created a few times a few weeks ago. And so if you are here on my home page, okay, I drag it over. This is the home page, and you go to artists, and you have TAfunk demos, and he created some very cool demos. I updated again, and the new one which I added is this flash driving. And if you play here, this button, it plays. And that was a very cool one. I like to play it again, and then we go to the new one. Ooh. Oh yeah, today is the disaster day. Yeah, I started up my MacBook on the right-hand side, and there the chat room is appearing. So if you go here to my live stream, you see it's empty. Here, oh, it's gone. A bit annoying. I don't know what I did, guys. It's I messed up. Sorry for that. But anyhow, so check out the various demos Tom made, and they're very cool. You see a whole list, and I put in the most coolest ones he created. So let's go back. I can see your chat room now here on the right-hand side. So that's good again. And Tom also sent a new one, so we're going to play that one in a second. Okay, so about... yeah, I can see you now, guys. Yeah, on the right-hand side, I can see you. So I missed everything. So let me give a little short look on the... yeah, somebody's downloading version 2B. Great, great. What does the string button do on SBB? Oh, the string button. Oh, yeah, Tom, you used this yourself, this type of thing. So that's a good question, because let's go to SubBoomBass. Where's it? String. It's the string model. So if you have the string model, you need to control the string. Okay. Okay, let me go to the... Okay, here the string model. That's a stick, that's a string model. So if you have an oscillator 2, instead of the waveform, you pick string, and then you have the string model. And then down here, you can see then also the parameters for oscillator 2. So this is the string model base. It's a car plus, but we added some additional things. So you can have a sub oscillator below it. We added different type of waveforms which start this car plus thing. So that's the string. That's the reason why. And here's the more editing. So because if you see here, if string is selected, you see also color. So that's a little parameter which is equally to this one. Now it's the starting wave, not it's the noise, but then the triangle. So that's the cool thing about SubBoomBass-2. It has very good subtractive, but also a string model. And there are some cool grooves, but I don't recall that fast. Where was one which I think Tom he even used himself in one of his demo sounds. No, that's not the one. Yeah, there's also one with this using the string model. It's a typical sound, isn't it? So yeah, yeah, very annoying that I could not see the chat room because then things pop up. I see also Sangini. Yeah, we had banks from Sangini for Predator 3. But what happened is that we had to change our distribution in Europe. So we had a little bit of other things on our mind. And we, of course, were planning to do this SubBoomBass-2 update. So, but that will be later on. This presets from Sangini for Predator 3 will pop up after I did the tagging and checking the volumes and these kind of little things. And so they will pop up. Don't worry. Winston, yeah, Winston, your bass is now in the factory patches. Your bass sound. I called it Winston, I think, for some reason. Or did you create it? I don't know. I'm totally lost on that currently. It's in the bass presets 06. If you click order by date, you see here down here you have Winston. It's a very nice warm sounding bass sound. Yeah, the Daft Punk, what we created some time ago. And what I really like is these analog sounds, which are, this one has tape delay. Using the zero latency filter. Okay, I'm checking the chat room. The reggae demo is all SBB. Okay. Maybe we should check that one in a second. So really a typical cheesy bass sound. Yeah. Yeah, and we have done some new sequence. But if you've had the start from the live stream, you heard these sounds already. So the sequence presets of 4 are all new. And I like this one. Is a really nice overtone to it. It's distorted, but in a nice way. Good people. So yeah. Now maybe Tom, we might play both of them. So I'm going with my mouse to the you need to mention me, Tom, or which one is the reggae run? I'm not sure if it's in the list. We have Ocean Track, Flash Driving, Seminar, iTrance, I Don't Die Without You, I Just Pretend, Kick It Up Notch, Don't Count Me Out, Blade 2 Attack, Disco. Maybe I did not upload that one. Yeah, if you see it, let me know. But we have another one today anyhow, apart from these, which we already played during a live stream. Tom did send me a new one, and we're gonna play it. It's called Angel Bob. And yeah, sorry about the mess with the chat room. I don't have no clue what happened, but yeah, that's a live stream. And yeah, as mentioned, I created now a video on, if you go to my homepage, if you are subscribing, you are seeing the video about RP-AMOD and the new features. But if you are totally new to my home YouTube channel, then you get a nice introduction video, which I recorded today. If you see this introduction video, I think it lists up very high in the new videos, and then put there your comment, because I mentioned also the live stream which we do each Thursday here. So okay, so let's go to Tom Aldrich now. Thanks for sending it in. I shut down my microphone, and we are going to enjoy another demo by Tom Aldrich, and maybe in the chat room he can mention what he used in this demo.